in partnership with Auckland Live and The Big Idea, invites you to join this evening's live talanoa with Yuki Kihara, New Zealand's artist for the 59th International Art Exhibition La Biennale di Venezia, Biennale Arte 2022, along with Professor Natalie King, curator at the New Zealand Pavilion, as well as Joanna Gordon-Smith, assistant Pasifika curator with the New Zealand Pavilion. Yuki will present a Paradise Camp, a politically urgent and creatively astute project curated by Natalie for the New Zealand Pavilion at the Biennale. Award-winning interdisciplinary artist Yuki is the first artist from New Zealand to present at the Biennale Arte who is Pasifika, Asian and Fa'afafine. A native of Samoa, Yuki is an interdisciplinary artist of Japanese and Samoan descent whose work seeks to challenge dominant and singular historical narratives through visual arts, dance and curatorial practice, engaging with post-colonial history and representation in the Pacific and how they intersect with race, gender, spirituality and sexual politics. Yuki lives and works in Samoa, where she's been based for over the last 11 years. Yuki joins us now on Pacific Days for more. Mālo soifua se songa, Yuki, and thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Really appreciate it.
Salava, Brian. Thank you very much for having me on your show. And I have to say, your Italian is really good.
Ciao a tutti. Thank you so much, Yuki. Now, Yuki, a month out from finally being able to go to Biennale. I think the last time we spoke, I was on the breakfast show, or you spoke with Tau Ili, and that's going on nearly 2 years. How are the nerves knowing now that you're about a month out from finally being able to showcase this wonderful project?
I am very excited because there was a time when I wasn't really sure the Venice Biennale was going ahead because of the surge of the COVID crisis. It was happening in Europe and particularly in Italy at the time. Many events were canceled. I know that Mission Impossible, featuring Tom Cruise, that was filmed in Venice. I think that was also had to be halted as well. So a lot of things, that were happening in Italy at the time, that was going to jeopardize, the most prestigious visual arts event in the world. But now, Italy and particularly Venice Island is going to open their borders again to the world. Well, actually, they already have, and then so now it's time for Aotearoa New Zealand, together with 90 other countries, to showcase, their presentation for the upcoming Biennale Arte. It opens on the 23rd of April.
Now, for you, in terms of the preparation, because it's exactly 1 month from today, what have you been up to in terms of preparation for the Biennale, Yuki?
Well, we actually working across multiple PR agencies. So in Aotearoa, we're working with Creative New Zealand. We also have a publicist in Australia. We also actually have a publicist in London as well, to try and garner as many PR for Paradise Camp at the New Zealand Pavilion as much as possible. So I've been doing a lot of media interviews, including this with 531 PI. I also recently conducted filming for Paradise Camp as well, which you'll know about very, very soon. So a lot of filming, a lot of scripting, and constantly looking online, to see if there's any flight changes, going over to Venice, because I'm departing for Venice in early April. So I hope that another variant doesn't pop up. And I'm also closely watching how the Ukraine and the Russian war is progressing. Maybe progressing is not the right word. But they might interfere with the flights. But it's coming together. But still, just waiting to see how it all kind of plans out.
Mm. Now, Yuki, last year, a preview or first glimpse of Paradise Camp was released, and I'm looking at the image that was used as a trailer, as a teaser, and it's a very arresting image. For our listeners and viewers, can you give us an overview of this particular exhibition, please?
Okay, then. So the hero image that you're looking at right now, it's called Two Fafafines. And then the photograph of Two Fafafines is actually a photograph that's been upcycled from a painting of a painting by Paul Gauguin entitled Two Tahitians. I think that was painted, I think, in the late 1800s. And then, so what I've done with Paradise Camp is that I looked at the work of French Impressionist artist by the name of Paul Gauguin, who basically made his name from painting, these fictitious sceneries, apparently, supposedly based in Tahiti and the Marquesas. And when I looked at those paintings very closely when I was in New York, they strangely looked Samoan. The models looked Samoan and the landscape looked Samoan, but these were supposedly painted in Tahiti and the Marquesas. So I decided to actually dig in, do some, a little digging into archival research. And lo and behold, I actually found evidence that shows that Gauguin was actually inspired by people and places of people, or photographs of Paul Gauguin was inspired by photographs of people and places in Samoa. So some of his major paintings were actually inspired by photographs from Samoa. And then, so this gave me the inspiration to actually upcycle Gauguin paintings using Samoan settings, as well as featuring Faustini models, because a lot of the paintings that Gauguin used, he featured non-gender binary models, which I think he were referencing, to the Mahu. So which just to serve, which just to what I'm trying to say, which goes to show that Mahus, Fafafines, Vakasalewalewa, and Leitis, existed, during the 1800s. Because Paul Gauguin provided a visual record of that.
Yuki, I'm interested because with the same article that I referenced earlier, a little bit of a discussion with regards to the controversy surrounding Gauguin and his relationship with some of his younger models. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, the thing is that we actually have to think about it, in the context of the time. And I don't think it was just Gauguin that was doing it. I think, there were many people doing it, but, I can't really speak on, behalf of, the Tahitian experience to that. But the thing is that what I'm interested in doing is that, using Gauguin's work as a catalyst to talk about what is urgent now. Because his work is so pervasive with regards to how the Pacific and particularly Polynesia is being represented. And believe it or not, many of the tourism campaigns also, has echoes of his visual references as well. So I really would like to use this opportunity to use Gauguin's work as a catalyst to explore more indigenous experiences.
Yes, and included in that, of course, with regards to climate change. And Yuki, of course, you will be the first artist from New Zealand to present at the Biennale Arte who is Pasifika, Asian and Whawhawhine. What does that mean to you to be a pioneer, in that regards?
For me, it means that I can use this opportunity to open or flung the door wide open for people like myself and other marginalized communities to come through, because everybody should have a chance to have a go at representing Aotearoa New Zealand. And I think for me, it's about equity and it's about representation. And I have to say that I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to showcase an aspect of our country that I feel that has been neglected or been ignored for so long. And it's certainly I think it's a historical moment. I think that we should all acknowledge and celebrate.
Mm-mm. Now, talking about celebrations, of course, this evening again, a live talanoa with yourself, along with Professor Natalie King and Joanna Gordon-Smith, curators at the New Zealand Pavilion. For those tuning in this evening, and we've included the link in our description, at 6:30, between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m., can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be discussing along with the rest of the team?
Yeah, sure. So not many people know what the Venice Biennale is, or what are the things that's necessary to make an exhibition of this magnitude happen. So what we're doing is a Q&A with the public, just to give an insight of the kind of things that are happening in the behind the scenes. And it's a Q&A session to hopefully get people behind our presentation at the Venice Biennale.
Award-winning interdisciplinary artist Yuki Kihara, whakataitele lava lausasunga Yuki. All the very best for tonight's talanoa, but more importantly, of course, and God willing, of course, with regards to the 23rd of April, finally, after nearly 2 years, being able to present your amazing work at the Venice Biennale. Whakataitele lava, ia manuia.
Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you very much, 531PI. And just one last thing. If you'd like to find out more, please log on to www.nz@venice.com.
It is